Greetings, Patrick here, Half Cheetah Will View, and we're here for another film review. So it came to my attention that our good buddy Josh from Hobbs Horror has sent me a lot of loot during the past few years, and it's true. It's absolutely true. I mean, he has sent me some seriously fun movies. I won a few. We traded a few. Yes. By the way, I have sent Hobbs back some movies, and he reviewed one. He reviewed one last week called The Vigil that was came out on IFC Midnight. So when he sent me his package last week, I thought, you know what? What a great time to do a review, because he says I've never reviewed anything that he sent me. So I said, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and review something from Hobbs. So me and the Cheetah, we decided that we're gonna watch The Haunting of Hythe House. I mean, look at that badass cover, right? And not only that, but this is from ITN. So our good friend Echo is probably sitting there going like, hell yeah. So, between Hobbs and Echo, man, this looks like a slam dunk. Well, it was, but just not for the right reasons. So, I sort of got an idea where I might be headed off to with this movie when I looked down in the credits and I saw one Louisa Warren on here. And I think I mentioned that before when I talked about this movie, and I should have listened to my gut. I probably should have reviewed this one instead. Rewind or Die from Wild Eye. I probably should have did that one, but I said, this was brand new. ITN, Echo swears by it. Look at that badass cover. Look at that badass cover. I mean, that looks awesome. So I decided to take a chance on this, me and the Cheetah. I lost the Cheetah within the first 10 minutes. That was it. He just got up, his tail was down, and he just slinked away, and that was it. So what's about this movie? So this is actually a love letter from the producer and director, Stephen M. Smith. This is basically a, how can I put this simply? This is a fuck you critics type of movie. Whereas he has released a few movies in his career, and they have not been really well received. This has only got a 4.3 on IMDb. So he decided he's going to write a movie basically crushing so-called critics. So he created a character. His movie starts with a character named Donnie the Destroyer, and all he does, he sits behind a firewall, and he writes bad reviews. That's what he does. He writes bad reviews. He doesn't vlog them. He's not doing what I'm doing. He's writing them down. He's still blogging. So he's a little outdated right there, sort of. So he supposedly is a very popular young man, and he has 10 million social media followers. I can tell you right now, that ain't happening with a blog these days. Unless you're Laura Dove, then that could happen, because she's mighty. But anyway, so he writes and he reviews movies, and he's just ripping every one of them. They're mostly all the independent horror and drama and stuff like that. The movies that everybody loves to rip on, sort of like what I'm doing with this one. But he writes them, but no one knows who he is. Whereas here I am right here. It's like, I'm Steven. I'm talking about your movie, buddy, and not liking it. At least I'm saying that face to face, man to man. But he hides behind a firewall, and but someone hacks into his computer, and they know who he is. So they come down, and they and this electronic voice, sort of like a female jigsaw, except you can't understand a word she says. You can't. I couldn't. I might have to. I don't know. I tried, but I couldn't understand hardly anything she said. So supposedly, because this person's such an evil person, they hacked into him. He doesn't want he doesn't want his ID exposed. So he's given a choice. He could sit there and do nothing, or run away and get exposed, or he can spend 24 hours in Hythe House and be prepared to deal with whatever's in the house. If he does that, he also stands a chance to win $1 million, £1 million or dollars. Okay, seriously, I think he just you shoot credibility out the window with that, because you could have did it for $10,000 and the guy still is going to do it. You could have offered him $10. He's still going to do it because he didn't want his identity exposed. So sitting there telling him, "Yeah, I'm going to give you $1 million." Yeah, no one's going to go for that. He's not stupid. But then again, he calls himself Donnie the Destroyer. So, and not only that, but the actor who played him, what's his name? Luke Stevenson, I think it is. Luke Stevenson. He looks sick already. I mean, he physically looks sick. Like there's no makeup on his face. He looks ill. I don't know if he is or not, but he really looks unhealthy in this movie throughout the movie. So anyway, he goes ahead and he says, "Okay, I'll take you up on it. I'll go spend the day in the house, the 24 hours in the house, and if I spend 24 hours in the house, I'll get some loot." So he goes to an old abandoned house, and the house looks nothing like this. Let me tell you. So he goes inside this house, and he's told that he has to carry a certain amount of supplies with him, and he has to visit each room. So he can't just hide in one room for 24 hours, like barricade it and stay there for 24 hours and win. No, he's going to have to visit all the rooms. Which I thought that was pretty clever. That was clever. That was okay. I got behind that. That was ideal. The house itself is actually the star of the movie, if you ask me. The house looked cool. It's an old abandoned house. It looks like total urban explorer type mode. That was really cool. That was cool. And you got to wondering if the filmmakers actually got permission to film on it, because it looked very dangerous. But the guy walks in, and the first thing I'm thinking to myself is like, okay, so they got power inside this house, out there in the middle of nowhere, but they got power. I'm going, okay, well, dude, two can play this game. You know who I am. All you needed to do is turn right around and go back out, go down to the power station and say, "Who turned on the power?" I'm sure somebody's name would have popped up that didn't think about that. I'm sure they could have been exposed just as much as Donnie was. But Donnie's not thinking like that. He's not thinking logical. He's thinking, I'm going to get £1 million. Well, so he decides that he's going to go ahead and poke around. And then out of the blue, and I mean out of the blue, then we see scenes from other people in the house that are trying to win $1 million. And it becomes sort of like a jigsaw, sort of like a Saw type of setting. But not without quite the elaborate traps. And there is a supernatural element to this movie as well, which makes no sense at all. And that's where we see Louisa Warren. Louisa Warren is actually a ghost. Okay, all right. At least she wasn't a scarecrow. So basically with this, and so of course, Donnie and the other people who knows what they've done to deserve this, but they all reap their just rewards. Everybody's happy. There's supernatural elements. The kills were just, sleepy. Stephen M. Smith, dude. No. It's the first time I watched any of his movies, so there's nothing I can recommend about this at all. I'm sorry, Echo. I can give this to you if you want, though, for your collection. I'll be happy to do that. But as far as the film review goes, no. The only good thing I'll say about this movie is the house. The house was definitely the star of the movie. It was a great setting. It's just too bad they didn't have a cast and a script to go with the house. So the only thing haunting Hythe House are the filmmakers themselves, with a bad script and bad acting. All right, there is no special features on this. That should tell you right there, right? There's no special features. There's nothing special about the feature. Okay, that's my last one. I'm not Donnie the Destroyer. Anyway, yeah. So no, I didn't really particularly like this movie. I like to sit there and tell you that it had promise, but it didn't. Just skip it. Not worth your time. Um, yeah, that's all I got. If you like the review and you want to hit the sub button, please do so. Except if you're Stephen M. Smith, I'm sure you'd be flipping me something else. But hit the like button anyway if you like my review. If you thought it was salty and thought it was funny, drop a comment. And be nice if you do, Stephen M. Smith. Be nice when you drop that comment. I do have a cheetah. Yeah, we'll see you for the next review. I don't know what that'll be. Yes, I do. For Dollar Tree Theater, me and the cheetah, we're going to be reviewing The Sorcerer's Apprentice. I can tell you that right now. All right, thanks for watching, and we will talk at you soon. Peace.